Idol worship, an essential subject from Vinipede. Idol worship is the worship of a specific object which is recognized as a physical representation of someone other than a god, as if it were a god. However, idol worship is different from deity worship. Srila Prabhupada explains that deity worship is authorized by God while idol worship is not. He uses the analogy of the mailbox. If you put mail in a U.S. Postal Service mailbox, it will go to the destination. If you make your own box and paint it red and blue and write U.S. mail on it, the letter won't go anywhere because the box is not authorized by the Postal Service. Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinikote's idol worship category. An introduction from his teachings is given below in the following 9 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's teachings. MYVDS and atheists accept the forms of the deities in the temple of the Lord as idols, but devotees do not worship idols. They directly worship the personality of Godhead in his ark incarnation. Ark refers to the form which we can worship in our present condition. Actually, in our present state it is not possible to see God in his spiritual form because our material eyes and senses cannot conceive of a spiritual form. We cannot even see the spiritual form of the individual soul. When a man dies, we cannot see how the spiritual form leaves the body. That is the defect of our material senses. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25. 35. The devotee offers eatables in the form of vegetables, fruits, leaves and water to the ark Vigraha. The Lord, being Bhakta Vatsala, compassionate upon his devotees, accepts these offerings. Atheists may think that the devotees are engaged in idol worship, but the fact is different. Janradana, the Supreme Lord, accepts bhva, the attitude of service. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.30. 28. Deity is not hedonism or idol worship. No. Deity is as good as the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's absolute. His form and he is not different. Bhagavad Gita Lecture, 2 September 1973, London. Our deity worship is not heathenism. If we keep forms of the Lord without worshipping the deity under regulative principles, it will gradually turn into idol worship, which is an offense. The deity of the Lord and the Lord himself are identical. Krishna can act through the deity perfectly. As I have given several times the example, the mailbox can act perfectly as the post office because it is authorized. Similarly, when the deity is installed under authorized regulative principles, the deity is as good as Krishna himself. Letter, 15 July 1969, Los Angeles. One should not think that such devotees, who are in the lowest stage of devotional service, are worshipping an idol. They are factually worshipping the Lord, who has agreed to appear before them in an approachable way. Nor is the art form fashioned according to the whims of the worshipper. This form is eternally existent with all paraphernalia. This can be actually felt by a sincere devotee, but not by an atheist. Sri Isaupaniyad, Mantra 5. Worship of the Ark Vigraha is not idol worship. The Ark Vigraha is an incarnation of the Lord in a form appreciable by a devotee. Therefore devotees engage in the temple in the service of the Lord as Ark Vigraha, a form made of sthala, material, objects such as stone, metal, wood, jewels or paint. All of these are called sthala, or physical representations. Since the devotees follow the regulative principles of worship, even though the Lord is there in his physical form, he is non-different from his original, spiritual form. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.12. 17. Worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his form within the temple is not idol worship. There is evidence in the Vedic literature that worship may be sagu or nirgu of the Supreme possessing or not possessing attributes. Worship of the deity in the temple is sagua worship, for the Lord is represented by material qualities. But the form of the Lord, though represented by material qualities such as stone, wood or oil paint, is not actually material. That is the absolute nature of the Supreme Lord. Bhagavad Gita 12.5. The Lord is merciful even to the women, Dras and Vija Bandhas, provided they agree to visit the temple of worship in different forms made for them. Such temple visitors are not idolaters, as alleged by some men with a poor fund of knowledge. All the great serious established such temples of worship in all places just to favor the less intelligent, and one should not pose himself as transcending the stage of temple worship while one is actually in the category of the Dras and the women or less. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8. 22. Although the atheist class of men may think that they are engaged in idol worship, it is not idol. Those who are atheists, they may see idol, stone. But those who are devotees, they see Skd Brajendranandana Hari. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he entered the Jagannatha temple, as soon as he saw Jagannatha, immediately fainted. Oh, my lord, here you are. So it is a question of vision. Somebody is going to Jagannatha temple, he is seeing a wooden carved statue, that's all. And he is surprised, why for this wooden carved statue so many people are coming? Because they are not devotee, they cannot understand. Srimad Bhagavatam Lecture 5 March 1972 Calcutta